All right, guys. I know a lot of you have been waiting to see this car. I've given you a couple little teasers on it. I apologize. The reason I was waiting is because I'd ordered the Marty report on this car along with the statistics report even before I went and got it. And I finally got the Marty report on September 29th, and I still do not have the statistics report that does the actual breakdown, shows you exactly how many were built, you know, with these options in this color, to see if it was one of one or one of two or one of three or whatever. I would say that it's one of not very many, because it would have been the most expensive Lincoln Town Car that you could have bought in 1989. It is a signature special edition, which I mentioned before. I'm going to be really repeating myself in this one because I shot that rest of that video probably, well, it's been at least a month ago, I guess. And I've just been waiting for that statistic report, and I guess it's not going to show up, so we're just going to talk about it. Anyway, the signature special edition. A lot of people, when they think 89 Town Car Special Edition, they think that silver frost with the black carriage roof or the current red with the white carriage roof. And I myself always thought that was a special edition as well. I've since learned that it was really spring and summer editions, what they called it. There's actually a code in the VIN for this one that definitely specifies that it is a Signature Series Special Edition. And they were, I got a bee flying around. Hold on. Okay, sorry. They came in this Oxford white and with the blue roof, and they came in twilight blue with the blue roof, and you could get them in black. I've only ever seen one black one, and I've seen lots of white ones, probably more white ones than anything, and I think the Marty report, when you see it, will justify that if I'm looking at it correctly. But then twilight blue would be the second most. Black is, I've only ever seen one. So I talked to this guy, Jeff, about this car in June of 23, and just never made it happen. Never went down to look at it or anything. And he saw the videos about Mom and Dad's accident, so he contacted me and wanted to know that if I would be, or if Mom and Dad would be interested in his car. And I said, well, I don't think that Mom and Dad are going to want one with that many miles on. It's got 144,000 miles. And as you well know, we wound up getting them two. They bought two Lincoln Town Cars, the black base model with a lot of options and that pastel Adobe one. So I said, I might be interested in myself, and just try to figure out a way to get down there. And I thought about it, and I asked Mom and Dad, I said, you guys want to run down to Lexington and look at that car? And if I like it, I'll just bring it home. So that's what we did. The Signature Special Edition really didn't give you much of anything like you would think it would. All you got that specified this special edition was this Cambria roof was included, and the leather wrap steering wheel, and the Ford JBL audio system. That's what you got, and then you could order it in 3 colors. You could also, I'll step back over on this side. It was also, it just got this single gold stripe down the side instead of the normal 2-stripe, 2-tone tape that a Signature Series would have gotten. And it got no stripes on the hood. I would think that a lot of customers would have complained about that and had them put on, but the special edition did not get accent stripes on the hood. I think that's bizarre, but anyway, the car's far from perfect. I just wanted it, just a simple fact, to have something with higher miles, not in that great a condition. After the accident, I'm terrified to drive my car anywhere, and a lot of the guys in the Lincoln Club are saying the same thing. After seeing that accident, they're scared to death to drive anywhere. They're wanting to trailer them everywhere they go now because they're getting so hard to find. So, and that's another reason. And after seeing what people were asking for them and seeing how few and far between they were getting, I was like, I'm just going to get me another one and be done with it. So another thing that really drew me to this car is that just by looking at it, even before I saw the Marty report, the special edition also got this emblem here. The white ones and the blue ones had this blue background, and the black one, believe it or not, had a red background. So that was part of the special edition too. But like I say, what really drew me to this is because just looking at photos, it looked to me like this car had absolutely every single available option possible you could get on one. And now, after getting the Marty report, it definitely does. I don't see anything that could have been left off. We've got the power moonroof, the wire spoke wheels, the $70 body side vinyl molding. It's got load leveling suspension. I guess we could just get in here and look at the motor report. The moonroof seal needs to be replaced. It doesn't leak or anything. It's just that it's come apart and the little windlace is coming out of it. But I know for sure you can get these reproductions, so that'll make a good video if you guys want to see that replaced. It just looks bad, that being raveling up like that. Oh, the special edition also got these special coach lamps that was, I've only ever seen them on these. The first one of these cars I ever saw was in Ocala, Florida at the Lincoln meet. And I remember talking to a guy there, I'm like, what's up with these and that, you know, and he's like, what's a special edition? I said, well, I thought the special editions were red and silver. He's like, no, these are the real special editions here. So I don't know if these are LED or fiber optic or what they are. I haven't looked into it yet, but this one doesn't work. The driver's side does. This one does not. But I do know from just hearing people talk about it, you cannot just replace a bulb in these. You've got to replace the whole thing. So I may have to just look and see what I can come up with for that. But okay, so we went over the wire wheels and the body side molding and the moonroof and the load leveling suspension. And of course, it's got an aftermarket stereo in it. It's got to have something done. These two left door panels are like new. That one has been repaired, we talked about, but I think I've got my sights set on one. And then that one's got one little crack in the corner in front of the ashtray, or the window switch is there, but the headliner's great. Okay, so what else do we have? We've got the auto dimming rear view mirror, which does not work. So I can do a video and show you guys how to change that out. Now the high beam headlights did not work when I was test driving it. And because it was night down there, you know, and I was reaching up here because we were in a lot of traffic. So I thought maybe the light was doing it. And this thing was gone. The auto dimming eye was gone. So I had to find one of those and put on there, and that took care of that. So the high beams do work now. I'm going to go over here on the other side, get out of the sun. I absolutely hate this. Let me tell you something else real quick. Somebody stuck those on here. First thing I did when I got home was I heated this up real good with a heat gun and pulled this off. Well, guess what? It took the paint with it. So I stuck it back on there for now. I don't think there's anything wrong with the trunk on Mom and Dad's car, believe it or not. It's the same color, so I may wind up just swapping out the whole thing instead of painting it. And then you'll see on the Marty report, it has the original Metro Lincoln Mercury dealer sticker here, Charlotte, North Carolina. And of course, this all needs redone or replaced or something. I can do a video on that too. I got so many videos that I need to do that I'm behind on anyway. Of course, yes, the dash is cracked. I would really much rather find an original shadow blue dash than try to find one and dye it a different color, just like the armrest. And the front floor mats are gone. And you guys are probably thinking, you know, what a piece of crap, but it's not. The seats are cracked up more so than one that I've ever had. The leather wrap steering wheel has been redone. You can tell that somebody just put some kind of leather stitching over it, and to be honest with you, it doesn't look that bad. I can live with it till I can find the original one. We've got the factory alarm here. Oh, I think this is $617 CD player option. Of course, it doesn't work. And I hate this sticking out like a sore thumb. This has got to be fixed. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but yeah, something's got to be done about that. Somebody didn't know what they were doing when they put that stereo in. But here is some copies of the original inserts that were put in the dealer catalog for people to thumb through and look at. So there it is, Lincoln Town Car Signature Series Special Edition. And then this would have been the back side when you flip the page. And it actually shows one in twilight blue and one in black. I like that where it says Elegance Unlimited. You see here, Signature Series Special Edition comes standard with, and we got the leather wrap steering wheel. Well, see, it does say it comes with the turbine spoke wheels, but I mean, that's what the Signature Series came with anyway. And the Ford JBL audio system, all other options available. So, see, even these pictured here with the wire spoke wheels didn't mean it came with you. You had to order them separate, $395. So, here's where it tells you what you could get. Now, this doesn't list that you could get white interior, but I've seen more white interiors than I have this blue interior, to be honest with you. And that's with the white paint. White paint with blue interior, and then blue paint with blue interior, but I'm assuming you could get white with the blue as well. And then you've got black with black. And even leather wasn't standard. See, you got cloth. Leather was extra cost. So it's pretty cool to have copies of those. And I think it even says here, yeah, see the body type, M84. That means special edition right there. The earlier ones that I was talking about that everyone calls special editions, they don't have anything specified like that. And here it is on the Marty report too, M84. Town Car Signature Series Special Edition 4-door sedan. It's built in April of '89. Let's see, it was built on April 18th of '89. But here we go. Oh yeah, electronic instrument cluster. That was $822. I can't figure out where I should be in the shade or the sun for you guys, but I think you can see it. So yeah, the base price of this car was $30,000 something, even more than the Cartier. And then somebody tacked on every option you could get. So, but like this keyless entry, that shouldn't even be listed because that wasn't an option. It was standard on the Town Car Signature Series. It's $225 on a base model, but it came on all Signature Series and Cartiers. So I don't know why that's listed as an option. There's a lot of stuff like that. But so the electronic instrument cluster was $822. The anti-theft alarm system, I believe, was $202 or something like that. The power moonroof was, I believe, $1,420 in '89. Actually, I believe that changed after the first of the year. The early built '89s, like on my other white car, the moonroof, the option shows $1,319, and then the later built ones that I see on window stickers, it's $1,420. So like they went up $101, like after the first of the year. So dual exhaust system. That wasn't really rare to see. Traction lock rear axle. There's your white sidewall tires, and see leather wrap steering wheel. Again, that shouldn't be listed as an option because it was standard in here. It's just like even the base models had air conditioners with auto temp control. I think it's weird they list that as an option. There was no other option. Just like rear window defrost, AM FM cassette stereo, radio, electrochromic automatic dimming rearview mirror. That's that thing. That was only $89. I can't figure out how. If we work on that, I'll show you kind of what one looks like. You'll wonder how they could have made one for $89 back then. But here's where you get into serious cash. Like the wire spoke wheels were $395. Automatic load leveling system, that, believe it or not, that was only around $200. Body side molding was $70. This roof, the carriage roof, you know, again, it's listed as an option, but it was standard on this car. The CD player, I believe, was $617. And like the JBL audio system, I think was $525, but again, it was included in the price of this car. And just like the comfort and convenience group, that was a $600 and some option in '89, but again, it was standard on all Signature Series and Cartiers. But nonetheless, I mean, I don't see an option box unchecked. So, and this is kind of weird. I don't know what was going on in '89, but see here, it was ordered January 9th of '89, and it was scheduled for build in April 18, or it was built April 18th. Was scheduled to be built on 2/6/89. That's right. I'm sorry. When I'm trying to look at this phone and make sure I'm on it and read this at the same time, I sound like a retard. So just look at it yourself. It was ordered in January and wasn't actually built until April, and then sold on June 27th. And it was ordered as stock too. That really shocked me, that they just ordered it with all these options to set on the lot and sell. And then there's the Metro Lincoln Mercury, Charlotte, North Carolina, just like it says on the trunk. But here's how, this is the little bit of statistics that they give you. There was 1,401 with the paint code, and there was 742 with the paint trim code. So that means out of the white ones built, 742 had shadow blue leather interior. That doesn't count, whatever's left out of the 742 between 1401 would have had the white interior or the blue cloth. So, and this tells me when they say 2,432 with these engine and transmission codes, well, that was your only engine and transmission code. So I'm assuming that there was 2,432 special editions built. That's what I think. And I don't ever like when they give you this 232 ordered from this ordering district, because I don't care. I would rather know how many had a different option, just like this moonroof, 261 with a power moonroof. So that's not very many. Only 261 out of the 2,432, if I'm thinking correctly, for the 1989 Town Car Signature Series Special Edition 4-door sedan. So not very many of them have the moonroof. So this is the car, and you guys already rode in it, but we may take a little bit of a more ride. Let's see. I don't know if I can remember this code. I guess I did. Took me a minute, but I did. Oh, the power antenna does not work. There's no signs of any rust on the car anywhere, like top to bottom. It's really nice. And I forgot that I threw that fan shroud in there, but the trunk's really clean. I threw that in there when I was up there taking the license plate bracket off Mom and Dad's car, and that's why I was taking the clutch fan off of Mom and Dad's car, because I just put that clutch fan on there not long before the accident, and it was hitting real bad on that car, so I just left that off. But this car needed a clutch fan. It was roaring when we test drove it, and it roared all the way home, so I just swapped them, took it off Mom and Dad's car, and put this one back on Mom and Dad's car so it can be started up, moved around, whatever needs to be done with it when we start parting it out. But this emblem I want gone, which, like I said, probably going to have to replace the trunk without painting it. That seems like the easiest thing to do. And then you guys know as well as I do, if I try to pull this off, it's just going to take the wood grain with it, and I don't want it on there. Classic town car with the Lincoln Star. It says Lincoln Town Car right here. You don't need anything else on there. Geez, if it was a Cartier emblem, it would be fine if it was a Cartier. But there's no reason for that, and I want it gone, and I want the one gone off the truck. I don't like anything being stuck on cars like that. So I'll probably just take this wood grain off Mom and Dad's car too and just swap them. I guess we could take a look under the hood. You guys are probably thinking, you know, I'm pointing out all this stuff that's wrong with it, but I feel like, you know, the price was right. And this side has been painted. This whole side's been painted. I don't know why, because I don't see any signs of it actually looking like it's been an accident or anything. But in the right light, you can see that the fender's a different color from the header and the rest of the car. But it shows extremely well going down the road, and it gets a lot of looks and a lot of thumbs up. I mean, a lot. These Lincolns really get the attention. If you don't believe me, go buy yourself a Signature Series. Like even Mom even said, when she drives that black car, she said, I'm not getting the looks and thumbs up in this black car that I normally get in those other ones. And I said, oh, it's because it doesn't have all this extra, as my friend Jeff would say, gingerbread on it. All that extra chrome and stuff. It just makes a difference. The base model looks like a Crown Victoria, basically. Honestly, the Crown Victoria looks better. It's got better trim on it. Another thing about this car, and I don't know if you can see very well under here, it's spotless. Like when this thing sets in the garage, there's not a leak anywhere. Look how clean that oil pan is. No drips coming from anywhere. No matter how long I let it set in the garage, it's not got a drop under it. And yes, I did rob the plates off my other white car just to drive this around a little bit, see how it's going to be. All my antique plates come due at the end of the year anyway, so. Oh, you can't see this till the light hits it just right, but there's a pretty big bad spot right here in the hood. Something fell on it or something. And Jeff had a paintless dent guy get it out as best he could and touch it up, but you don't really see it until like right there when the light's hitting it just right. If you're over here, just walking by it, you don't even hardly see it looking out across the hood when you're driving it. And it almost looks like a battery exploded here. But I wanted something that I could drive that looks decent going down the road. And like I said, it definitely does. And not worry about it if it gets door dinged or something like that. So I think it's going to serve the purpose. The load leveling's not working right. This compressor runs way too much and it never pumps up the rear end. And they've done something right here. See, there should be an inline fuse right here. This harness here is for the load leveling. It went all the way, it comes all the way from the rear, all the way up here, and all the way around the front over to the compressor. I don't know why they did it like that, but something went wrong here, but I don't think that's what's causing the problem. It's just not airing up. But what I don't understand, after it runs a little while, it kicks off. So, I mean, I just haven't had time to really look into it. Like right now, if I started up, the compressor would probably be running. But it does eventually kick off, and it shouldn't kick off until it's aired all the way up, but it never airs up. But it still rides fine. So, we got to deal with the air ride, the automatic dimming rearview mirror. I got to do something with that god-awful looking stereo. The door chime isn't working correctly. You can hear it faintly. And when you push the buttons for the digital dash, they should beep, and that comes through that same door chime, and it doesn't do that. So I think that I found one of those in there on the shelf that'll work too. We got to replace the power antenna. I have one of those. So there's plenty of videos to do on this car. Oh, and I guess somebody just didn't realize that when these vinyl moldings get dingy, all you got to do is take white wall cleaner and a toothbrush, and they'll scrub right back up and turn white again. But somebody painted these with some kind of vinyl paint, and it's flaking off. Just little things like that drive me nuts. So there's a bunch of little things to do to it. And as I said earlier in the video, I do not mind those chrome tips at all. I'm not going to do anything with those as long as the exhaust is good on that car. That doesn't bother me one bit, because the original dual exhaust kind of stuck out below the bumper anyway, so I'm totally fine with that. Let's take a little cruise. Actually, I just remembered that you guys already got to ride in it, bringing it home from Lexington. That's how long it's been, how long I've been waiting to do this video. And I guess I'll have to do another video when the statistics report gets here, if it ever gets here. I'm beginning to wonder. But here we are, cruising down. 58, 59, no shakes, no shimmies. Oh, that power seat doesn't work in one or two directions. I got to show you guys how to take those seat switches apart and clean them and lube them. That'll be another good video. I'm sorry to all my LTD and Country Squire guys. I got kind of thrown for a loop here with the accident and all these Lincoln videos. I can see that dent out there now since I rubbed my fingers over it. There's a car behind me, so I'm going to get over here and let him get on by. I was going to turn around and go on the highway, but we'll just go down this way. The air conditioner definitely blows ice cold. And Jeff actually showed me a receipt, which freaked me out. He spent over $1,100 on the brakes, new calipers, new hoses, new rear wheel cylinders. Stuff costs a lot more in Lexington, Kentucky than it would cost here. I would have done that job for, I'm guessing, half the price and still made money doing it. Dusty out here. We need a rain bad. Farmers got all the crops out, mostly. Oh, it looks like we got a car chaser. Don't do it, dog. Might have a little bit more wind noise than my white car. I don't know. You know, to be honest, you may think that this dash cover is ugly, but here's what I think about the dash cover. I would have not thought about getting one, but to be honest with you, after seeing how cracked up this dash is, see, I don't know if you guys can see, no, you can't see it, but you know how they are. The speaker grills are just, they're just falling in. You know, a Southern car like that, sitting out in the sun, it really needs a dash pad. So what I'm getting at, if you have a nice dash pad, get on eBay right now and order one of these. I think it says dash mat. I don't know, you tell me. I'm sure they're reasonable. If you got one that sets out, just go order one of those and put it on there, because that's going to protect your dash. And honestly, now that I've been in here for a month, I don't think it looks that bad, especially since it's protecting the dash. So, all right, there's stuff going on up here. I'm just going to get on home. All right, guys, we're back from our little drive. Real quick, I'm just going to show you too, I forgot to point out, this door lock manual slide is not hooked to anything. So when you lock the doors and unlock the doors, it's not doing anything. Jeff told me that he had to have a window motor put in here, and it cost him $1,000. I don't know what the guy did, but I don't know if you can hear this. That it's making a rubbing sound, and I can feel the teeth even when in my hand. The teeth from the window motor hitting the window regulator gears, and just Lincoln did it way smoother than that. And I have a feeling it's probably got a Dorman window motor in there. Something's just not right. And There's that. I noticed there's a Phillips screw missing right here for this run, so I don't know what this guy did. I was looking at the window sticker, or the data tag on the door, and I noticed this is nowhere near the correct bolt that goes in here. This doesn't even look like a bolt that would have come out of here, unless maybe for that channel or that cam that they use for the vent window. You can see they cut this ASC sticker, the sunroof cars and the special top cars all got this American Sunroof Company sticker on it, and they've cut this off to get the door latch out. So I don't know what they were doing. And then notice these door handles always have a real nice spring to them. Well, not this one. It just doesn't. This is what, I mean, I've worked on plenty of those door handles. I'm not worried about it. So there's what that bolt is supposed to look like with that big washer. Okay, I just remembered before I post this video, I want to edit in a few more things. Like, watch this. Ugh, see how that window gets so slow right there? That means it needs greased on that cam. And if you guys that have been around for a while know, I did that cutout on that door to show you the grease points on these. So I'll put that video at the end of this video in case some of you guys haven't seen it. And then, I don't think I mentioned that that left rear window doesn't work. And I want to show you something here. When we was down there in Kentucky test driving it, see that where how the moonroof gets real draggy right there at the end, and it makes that noise coming back. You got to kind of help it. Well, I was going to show you. Let me see here. See, there's a piece of paper that was originally, and I think it'd be best if I get it closed to show you. Hold on a second. Oh God, I don't like that. Okay, let's see if we can see it better now. Originally, there was this piece of thick paper that was glued to this sunshade that slides back and forth. And it's all caught up and rolled up back there in a big mess. So that's got to be addressed too. But the sunroof has to come out anyway to put this new seal on the outside. So again, that's just something else that we got to do. But I've done all these things, so I just wasn't that worried about it. And I feel like it'll make good videos if you guys will watch them. Oh, and while we're in here, it's got the original lug nut locking thing there. It's got the owner's manual. It's got the moonroof crank here. And it's got this original JBL audio system cassette tapes. We got the demonstration tape and the cleaner that is still wrapped in the cellophane here. So, I mean, the car's got potential. So, you guys are probably thinking, man, Tony bought a piece of crap. But you got to think, this is what Tony does. And Tony probably has everything laying around here to fix it. It's not going to cost Tony anything. The only thing it's going to cost me really is that door panel, which, like I said, I think I've got one of those located. I want a blue dash pad, and I need some blue floor mats. I'd like to even change the front seats, to be honest with you, if I find a parts car. But if you guys know where any of that shadow blue interior is at, please let me know. But that's really the only thing I'm going to have to spend money on. The moonroof seal, that's not expensive. Just doing it. As the stuff all makes good videos, but I know I keep telling you guys I'm going to do this video and that video, and then I wind up getting a different car. I hope you stick with me, and hopefully maybe this winter we can get it all done. So, all right, guys, like I said, I've got everything laying around pretty much that it needs. I've got an automatic dim and rearview mirror. I've got a power antenna. I've got door handles, or I can even show you how to fix that door handle, probably. So I've got whatever it'll take to get the radio in there right, or change it. So we'll get it. We'll get it all done eventually. So please remember to hit that thumbs up. Please leave me a comment and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate you guys watching. See you next time.